respected chairpersons, and my dear friends. My lecture is not at all a clinical one. It's a very different lecture. So those who are interested in attending the other clinical lectures, I don't mind. Dr. Pushpa gave me this topic, a topic turning point. I was wondering, there are so many turning points in everybody's life. So what should I talk about? Should I talk about clinical things? Should I talk about academic things? Should I talk about some romantic things? Should I talk about, what should I talk? Was a very confused finding. I was confused, discuss it with my daughters, my grandchildren and everybody. Still I was confused with this topic. I discussed this with my friend Dr. Suman Sardesai, and then we came to a little bit conclusion. No, I will not talk about clinical, but I will talk about my struggle in my practice. As I come from a very small town called Sholapur, it has become a big one now, but it was a small city when I started practice in Sholapur. Suddenly I thought, was it a stimulant to Alzheimer age of mine from Pushpa, whether she wanted me to study something, think about something, so she gave me this topic. That was one more query in my mind. So what is turning point? Turning point, is it a pause? Can be a pause. What is it exactly? It can be a tender point, it can be a sorrow, it can be a happy thing, it can be a beneficial thing. So turning point can be anything. It may be a small turning point, it may be a huge turning point, a big turning point. A turning point can a turning point be when you tell the patient of IVF to come for a IVF cycle, and by the 1 or 2 months she is thinking she is pregnant. Was that a turning point in your practice? A patient comes to you, I had the patient with an infantile uterus, and I wrote a certificate to her that she has got negligible chances of pregnancy. To my surprise, another second or third year, she came with a pregnancy. Imagine, I had examined her and it was an infantile. So is it a turning point? So I decided, now let's forget all these things and let us go to my own life. I was a small girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old. I was from a happy family, a Gujarati businessman family, a happy childhood. And I used to attend all my aunties. They used to deliver, and see, every time a patient delivers, either there is a small child attendant or there is a very old lady of 80 years attending the patient. So I used to attend these deliveries. Not the deliveries, but I used to attend my delivered relatives. And I used to be there. I used to just keep on watching outside in the hospital when these doctors, senior doctors, you know, they used to take rounds. White aprons, shoes, a big paraphernalia behind them, sisters and assistants and students, matron, and all these things. I used to be thoroughly impressed. That was my first ideal personality, Dr. Kamal Sathe from Sholapur. She was, this is around 1950. She was the first MD gynecologist, was a student of Dr. B.N. Purandare, and she was my ideal personality. A very beautiful, intelligent, like she had some intelligent aura around her. And I used to stare at her taking her rounds. Once or twice she saw this and she took me to labor room and she took me for rounds. I was a small child. And then that's the day I decided, no, I will be Dr. Sathe one day. I will be a gynecologist. So she was my first ideal personality. Then I grew up. I was in MBBS. I passed my MBBS. My father used to take me around in Bombay. We were from Sholapur. He used to take me around in Bombay, and he used to take us to Girgaon, Chowpatty and all. I used to see this hospital, not the Chowpatty, but across the Chowpatty, I used to see this hospital. This is Purandare's Maternity and Gynaecological Hospital. I was an MBBS student. And I used to think, no, one day, because I had heard a lot about B.N. Purandare. I had read many books about him. And then I used to think, no, one day I'll be here. I'll be assisting him, I'll be helping him, I'll be his student, I'll work with him. And it happened that I got my MD admission. That time we never had MD degrees in Sholapur. So I came to Mumbai, and it happened that I got admission in Vadia Maternity Hospital with Dr. B.N. Purandare. I worked with him for 2 years of house post. Then I worked as a registrar's post, a lecturer's post. I was his very pet student. I was his favorite student. We really worked very hard. I used to be with him. I was a very devoted academically, busy with discussions and research work and this and that. But I was from a small place. So these are my teachers, Dr. R.D. Pandit, Dr. Sonawala, Dr. M.N. Parekh. But I had a little secondary treatment in the metro city because I was from a smaller place. I was not basically from Bombay. Till I passed my MD from Mumbai, got my medal, and then my treatment towards me changed. Then I became a very favorite student. Everywhere I was there. I used to manage SIRS camps. These were gynec camps conducted by a businessman, Somaiya. So he used to make me in charge of this camps. So I was at the top of my academic career, happy with my academic career. I was flown in that Bombay environment. I got merged in Bombay environment. I had all dreams about Bombay. My husband was also from there. He was in a very good position. We booked a block, 2 blocks, thinking of starting a nursing home in Bombay. But there was a day when my life changed. There comes a point in life when you realize that nothing will ever be the same. And you realize that from now on time will be divided, the time will be divided into 2 parts. The before this and the after this. Sometimes life is about risking everything for a dream that no one can see but you can see. And there came the turning point. My daughter, small, 4 years old, was with my mother. My mother had an attack and I had to rush back to Sholapur. I came back to Sholapur. I had almost finished all my post, but I came back to Sholapur. I came back to Sholapur and joined a small hospital. It was, you can call it a sophisticated chawl. It was a very small hospital with small rooms over there. And I started working there. That was the turning point in my life. Back to Sholapur, me and my husband. Back to Sholapur. I had become a typical Bombay style girl, but I had come back to Sholapur. I remember the CMO of this small Sholapur hospital told me to dress up little bit simply rather than to dress up like metros. So that is why I remember this slide. Every sunrise brings you a second chance at a new beginning. So that was a new beginning. So now when I sit back at this age and I think about my past, I think that was a major turning point, but it was a very happy turning point. I settled down very well in my town. I had this hospital. I had a lot of clinical work in Sholapur. Sholapur at that time was a little bit far behind academically, gadgets wise, but we developed many things in Sholapur. This is a medical college. We have a government medical college in Sholapur where there are many students, very academic activities go on. This is my family. I got my family back, my children, my daughter, my friends, my father's friends. They all helped me in my practice. We had a Sarkari hospital where I work. I started doing social work also. I started Sholapur OBGY Society, which is, you have heard, we got a first prize in the best society. So this was long way back in 83. Dr. V.N. Purandare, you can see that black sari lady is me. We started this society. This was the beginning of the society. This is when I got my AMOGS presidentship. If you are good, I'm just finishing. If you are good and sincere, you are good everywhere, no matter where you have. I finished in a second. Finished, last 2 slides. So I took a right turn at a right time for right people with right decision. How to recognize a turning point? I won't tell you. The last slide is, I found that every single successful person I've ever spoken to had a turning point, and the turning point was where they made a clear, specific, unequivocal decision. Chase your passion, no matter what anyone says. And so, thank you very much, friends. A little bit story about my life struggle from a small city.
Thank you, Dr. Chitnis, madam.